All I want to say is, curse your sudden but inevitable betrayal.
I was going to say that.
I think you need to explain yourself.
Yeah, big time explanation.
The biggest. Sooner rather than later.
For the past 2 years, we've been operating without a secure base. The mage hunters have known about the abandoned castle. The West Guards have known about the abandoned castle, for they were the ones who even told the mage hunters where to find us.
You are trying to distract me, but I am not going to stand for it.
Would you believe me that I did it all out of a place of caring?
All actions make sense to the user at the time of the action. Let's just hear Afton out.
I was the friend that sent the letter to you all. Look, we're fighting a war on far too many fronts. Even after the West Guards destroyed this particular castle and forced us on the run, we're still trying to race them on either obtaining the assembled doomsday device and or locating the various pieces needed to craft the unassembled device. We hadn't even finished securing the abandoned castle when the war with the mage hunters exploded. We're being forced to go on the offensive, and I understand the strategy behind it. However, our bases of operation were not secure, and then we're trying to establish a new castle to build a more permanent home so that we're not squatting.
I understand that there's a lot going on. Life doesn't operate in a vacuum, though.
I get that. You also cannot deny all the mistakes we've made over the years. We've heavily skewed the timeline. We've almost caused interdimensional wars between realms by leaving portals open and allowing creatures out of said portals.
And the citizens don't appreciate when you try to roast marshmallows in the fire realm, or use the water realm as a never-ending fountain.
Egg.
I know, not helping. Humor is my defense mechanism.
Believe me, I understand.
Go on, Afton.
We're even in the ruins of one of our massive mistakes.
Again, all valid points. However, we have also grown smarter over the years and more strategic. It still doesn't explain why you betrayed us.
Sometimes a huge demonstration is necessary in order to capture the Academy's attention or prove a point. To keep operating from an unsecure base is a poor strategy. With multiple enemies, all it takes is one solid and brutal attack to our flank to wipe us out. No, I don't want to see what would happen if the West Guards got their hands on either doomsday device. They do need to be brought to justice. Yes, it is our moral duty as magical creatures to defend those who cannot defend themselves against the mage hunters. At the same time, we cannot compromise our own security by doing so.
Look, I appreciate you notifying us about the depleted Hearthstone. That's going to save us some crucial time in reestablishing our security. And yes, we do have a history of some faculty members using grand gestures to illustrate a particular point. Stealing the rental site's house cup to prove that we need to have our own. Bunbury stealing the house gems to keep them out of Garnet's hands. Allies commandeer things from us for everyone's own safety.
This, however, is not the same thing. The West Guards attacking us. We could have been KO'd. That was beyond acceptable behavior.
I didn't have the West Guards attack us, though. Look, last year, when raiding one of the Mage Hunter outposts, several of our students found clothing belonging to the West Guards. They had used it to infiltrate the base when they impersonated the West Guards. Those items got left behind at the end of term. So I hired an acting troupe to dress up. No one was supposed to be in any real danger.
Those were the real McCoy.
That was definitely no prank.
It should never have been a prank to begin with.
Please know that was never my intention. I would have never put any of you in actual harm's way, and I'm deeply sorry for that. I have been doing my own sleuthing after that ambush. Turns out that during hard times, some people are willing to sell information to the highest bidder. It attracted the real deal. This just got out of hand. That is the reason I ultimately bolted when you all realized it was me.
I understand how that can happen, and that things rarely go as planned.
Even with pranks.
And I wanted all the facts.
So who was the other helper that the detective was mentioning?
They were correct that I had called in some open-ended favors. But it wasn't one person. I had a helper in each of the slimes. This required some coordination.
While I feel better knowing that you had not intended to have the actual West Guards attack us, promise me next time you will immediately come forward rather than letting things draw out the way they did. No problem gets resolved by ignoring it.
It's a matter of trust. The only way we're going to get through all of this is if we trust each other through the good and the bad.
I will definitely do that in the future. And in Salem, I definitely learned that problems only tend to grow. Life lesson there, I promise. And I'm sorry.
Do we have any intel on why the Hearthstone is?
I will go get it. Folks, we might have a major problem. I went to the hiding spot and its security measures have been destroyed. I found something caught in the door, though.
Let me see.
Westguards.
Looks genuine to me.
Well, we best go retrieve the Hearthstone.
I will do some checking with the networks to see if I can pinpoint where their encampment might be.
Good. I am not about to end our staff report to the Academy with the West Guards having the item that we so vitally need.